What's going on, everybody? It's Park Visions, and in this video, I'm gonna be doing my top 25 list for coasters. And from last year to this year, this list has changed a lot, and I'm happy about all the new coasters I got to ride this year and all the re-rides I got on coasters as well. So yeah, in this video, we're gonna be doing a top 25 list. And before we start, make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you don't miss any other more videos from Park Visions. So yeah, enough talking, and let's get straight into the video. Starting off my top 25, we're gonna go to Orlando, Florida. At SeaWorld Orlando, Kraken. Kraken is my number 25 coaster of all time. This coaster is just amazing, an amazing floorless coaster. The views you get on the lift hill is just unbeatable with Mako, and the sheer ride experience of intensity this ride delivers is absolutely amazing from start to finish. The whippy transitions, the intense transitions, and it's just absolutely amazing. And when this coaster is running fast and it's hot, this coaster just runs ridiculous. And that's the rides that I got in March. This ride was running absolutely ridiculously good and fast. And my favorite moment is that tunnel where you hit the 0G roll before the final brakes. That is such a great whippy transition to end off your ride on Kraken. Now jumping into Mason, Ohio at Kings Island, we have the Beast. The Beast is an incredible coaster with just out of control pace, and it's just crazy. Like, the terrain is just what makes the Beast incredible, and the speed and the strength of the Beast is what makes it absolutely incredible. And the daytime, I didn't know much of the Beast. I went in knowing nothing about the Beast, and I think that's what made me appreciate it more. And just at daytime, it was running fast, but I didn't think much of it. But when it came to nighttime, this is where the Beast took full control. I just was in awe. Like, when we went into the station, my face was just like, what did I just get off of? The Beast just takes absolutely control. The lats are insane. And just getting thrown left and right, not knowing where you're going, is absolutely amazing. And that's what the Beast is known for, and that's what the Beast does. And it's just an amazing wooden coaster. And also a plus is the long layout. I love long layouts, and the Beast has exactly that while keeping its insane ride experience. So at number 23, jumping our way to Sandusky, Ohio, we have Raptor at Cedar Point. Raptor is amazing. The view for the front of the park with Gatekeeper, the boardwalk, and everything at the front of the park is absolutely amazing. And I just love Raptor for its speed. It kind of lacks intensity a little bit, but the first half really has some great intensity, but it lacks it a little bit in the second half. But then it like regains itself at the end with the helix before hitting the final brakes. The intensity on that final helix before hitting the final brakes is absolutely amazing. You really feel the forces on your legs, and I absolutely love like G's when they really get to your legs because it's an amazing feeling. And yeah, like Raptor's just amazing for its speed. I love how it doesn't lose pace. The second invert on this list, flying our way into number 22, we have Banshee at Kings Island. Banshee is a step up from Raptor, and there's one reason why, and it's intensity. I'm really an intensity guy, and Banshee just has a lot more intensity than Raptor, and it really keeps the same speed that Raptor does throughout its layout, but Banshee just one-ups because of the intensity. And Banshee's elements just hit perfect. When I mean perfect, I mean perfect. On a perfect day for Banshee, the elements hit so well, and it was a warm day for me, so Banshee was really warmed up and running absolutely insanely fast and running really, really well. Now, skiing its way into number 21 with the number one invert on this list, we have Alpin, guys. Going up that lift hill, you know you're about to get into a snowy ride on Alpin, guys. This thing is one of the most intense inverts I've been on, and probably the most intense invert I've been on. This thing does not let up, and recently, I just got recent rides on it this year, and when I tell you this thing was running like insane, like I never seen it before, it was running insane like I never seen it before. I literally had to tap out because I felt like I was about to black out. Like I literally was gonna black out. It was really hot. I think the index on the day that I was riding this was like 98, 100, almost 100. So this thing was running really insane, and it was just unbeatable. Like every element just snapped into it, and then the famous Cobra roll on this coaster. This Cobra roll never lets up, and it's probably one of the top most intense moments on a coaster. That Cobra roll is snappy and just intense in the back row. You really don't feel it much in the front, but the back row, you're about to get into a crazy ride on the Cobra roll when this thing is running intense. Making our way into number 20, we have Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England. Last time I rode this was 2022, and from what I remember, it still holds up. I remember when I first ran it, it wasn't my favorite in the park. It was still really good, but in 2022, it definitely redeemed itself, and it's just absolutely incredible. That first turn is really crazy in the front row. The whiplash of wind really gets me graying out. And then the hills following is just absolutely insane. And there was one ride that actually grayed out until the second airtime hill. Before you hit the spaghetti bowl, I just like couldn't see anything, and I just remember this thing running absolutely ridiculous. And now it's definitely my favorite in the park. This ride is filled with ejector speed. At number 19, a new coaster to me, we got Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point. This is going to be surprising because I know a lot of people have their opinions on Magnum. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. I honestly think this is one of the best coasters at Cedar Point, and it's honestly one of my favorites at Cedar Point. People talk about the kinks with Magnum. I really think the kinks bring intensity to this ride, and it just brings a unique sense to this ride as an old coaster. And let's just talk about the abrupt ejector on the Triangle Hills. The abrupt ejector is probably one of my top moments of airtime of all time. Definitely topping some of my favorite airtime moments before. This just earned its way, and the Triangle Hills are absolutely ridiculous. One of my favorite airtime moments of all time. And I can't wait to get a night ride on this because I can imagine this ride at night too when it's really warmed up. So yeah, you gotta give Magnum a try, and I can't wait to hear what everybody else thinks of Magnum. Storming its way into number 18, we have Stormrunner at Hershey Park. Stormrunner has a short layout and a short duration, but what it does with a short layout and short duration is what makes it different from the coasters. This launch is probably one of the punchiest launches out there and one of the best launches out there. And what it does after is what makes Stormrunner amazing. With the amazing top hat giving some great ejector on some amazing days. And also the flying snake dive, one of the funnest elements out there. And Stormrunner is just an amazing ride that's fun and intense and just a great coaster to have fun on. It's just that fun, that amazing, and that intense. And I never bother with the short layout because it's just overall amazing and one of the punchiest coasters out there. Coming in at number 17, we have Millennium Force at Cedar Point. And that lift hill brings up so much anticipation for what you're about to experience. And the drop feel like it goes on forever. And my first ride, I was like, are we done with the drop yet? The drop feel like it goes on forever. And it's just pure awesomeness. And the speed is what makes this ride so good. And the sharp turns with the speed as well just makes it amazing as well. The airtime hill, it doesn't give that great airtime, but it does something while just keeping the speed up to pace and up to what it has. And that's what makes Millennium Force Millennium Force. Sneaking our way into number 16, we have Diamondback at Kings Island. Diamondback is an incredible hypercoaster by Bolliger and Mabillard that's going to be taking you on a sneaky journey. Diamondback has some awesome airtime with some awesome airtime hills filled with some great floater airtime hills that will have you obsessed wanting to ride this over and over and over and over. And that's what happened to me. As soon as I rode Diamondback once, I just always kept wanting to go on it again. And it's such an incredible ride experience. The trains look amazing. The sign looks amazing. And being able to see the lift hill from the sign, it's centered, so it looks amazing as well. And the final element, the splashdown, just makes a great last intriguing element to end the ride on this amazing B&M Hyper. Swimming our way into number 15, we have Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. Mako is an incredible B&M Hyper, also by Bolliger and Mabillard. And what Mako does different is Mako has an amazing scenery. And when I'm talking about amazing, you're getting amazing views from the lift hill, and you're getting amazing views on the 5-second airtime hill on the city of Orlando. And the ride experience is just amazing. And just riding along the lake is just absolutely incredible. And this ride is just absolutely a masterpiece. and it's most people's favorite, and I can definitely see why, because it's a great one, and the airtime is just up there, and the whole ride experience is incredible, and what they did with Mako and where they put Mako is an incredible spot. Rocketing our way in at Kings Island again, we have Orion. Orion is an incredible coaster, and I never get the hate with Orion. And I rode Orion for my first time this year, and I just don't get the hate with Orion. And Orion is an incredible coaster that has great speed, and it's just an incredible all-around coaster, and it just keeps its speed all the way through. The airtime hits, the speed hill hits, the wave turn hits. This thing is an amazing coaster, and I grade out so many times on this coaster, and it's just incredible. Tall, fast, whatever. Like, it just has everything I like about a coaster. Making our way into number 13 with the Green Monster, we have Incredible Hulk Coaster at Islands of Adventure. This thing is definitely a monster, and it's in so many ways that this coaster is a monster. Going from the tire launch into that 0G roll out the tunnel is absolutely incredible. You get some great whip on it as well. Starting off for one of the best first halves on any coaster. Definitely one of the first halves on the coaster. It is Gray Out City, and it's definitely one of the most intense first halves on any coaster. And everything that follows by is just absolutely incredible. And the soundtrack just hearing doom, 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 doom. Incredible. You're just ready to just start your amazing journey on Incredible Hulk and just start an amazing journey at Islands of Adventure with this incredible green monster. Surfing our way into number 12 at SeaWorld Orlando, we have Pipeline the Surf Coaster. Pipeline the Surf Coaster was one of the new for 2023 coasters to debut this year, and it was a shocker. I know most people doubted Pipeline for being good, and this right here shocked the whole entire community. This thing delivers more than what people were thinking, and the intensity of all the turns, the intensity of the elements, and just the forces of bringing an old stand-up to this new concept surf coaster is just absolutely amazing. Like, you really can feel the forces on your legs, you really can feel the whip and everything, and you can really feel some great airtime as well, especially the standing up airtime, especially on the first airtime hill where you jump. You really feel the airtime, and it's just an incredible coaster all around. Making our way, just missing the top 10, we have Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. Twisted Timbers is one incredible RMC with some abrupt airtime, and let's just talk about the famous triple camelback on this ride. This ride is known for the triple camelback, giving the most craziest ejector out there, and this ride is just all around perfect. I love the barrel roll drop. So great, giving a great start to a coaster, giving you that great hang time to get ready for a crazy ride on Twisted Timbers. Starting our way with the big top 10, we have Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. And all the Kings Island coasters were new to me. What made Mystic Timbers stand out more and made the top 10 was how abrupt and crazy this ride is. Once you hit that drop, get ready to go on that experience, because this thing is filled with crazy laterals, amazing airtime, and just crazy pacing. And also, I got a couple of rain rides too, which made this thing absolutely more crazy and abrupt than it already was when it wasn't even raining and it was just warm and hot. Racing our way into number 9, we have Intimidated 305 at King's Dominion. I-305 is known for being one of the most intensive coasters in the world, and it's definitely true. Not knowing anything going into I-305, this thing took my vision in 1 second on the first turn. After was pure amazingness with Intamin's great work with some great snappy turns, great whip, and great forces after. I-305 is one incredible coaster, and for me, is definitely one of the best Intamin works out there, and this thing is an amazing coaster, and I'm glad King's Dominion has a coaster like I-305. Rushing our way into number 8, we have Skyrush at Hershey Park. Skyrush is known for being one of the most insane coasters also by Intamin's great work, and we could definitely see why. That first drop starts off with floater and abruptly turns into ejector, and the rest is amazingness. Going from high bank turns with crazy forces, then from tight turns into bone crushing forces, and then amazing hills turned into ejector airtime. This thing is just all around amazing work and one of Intamin's best works, and Skyrush is definitely one of the best in the world and is definitely an intense coaster. Stomping our way into number 7, we have Velocicoaster Islands of Adventure. I'm gonna just start off by saying this has one of the best entrances ever, and is probably the best themed coaster out there. And this ride is just pure perfect. The ride experience alone is just amazing. You got a great launch to start you off, then you have some great inversions to get you going. Then the second launch into the punchy top hat with some great views as well. And then after, it's just pure amazingness. Now, for me, it's down in the rankings a little bit because after the top hat, it just meanders for me a little bit. But then it picks it right back up at the Mosasaurus roll, being one of the best inversions out there over water. This thing is pure amazingness. Here's where things get spicy. Just missing the top 5, we have El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. This turnaround, you're about to go into a crazy ride with one of the best first drops in the world, if not my favorite first drop. Going into 2 of the best airtime hills on any coaster. These things are so aggressive and abrupt, and in the front row, you are getting abrupt, thrown out your seat so aggressively and so strongly. Then going to a turnaround, and then flying into one of the best airtime moments on any coaster, the Rolling Thunder Hill. The Rolling Thunder Hill is definitely probably one of the best airtime moments as well. Having the great pace and great speed going into it, that thing really throws you out your seat. El Toro is considered one of the best wooden coasters, and I'll definitely see why. El Toro does have some kinks to it, but what I feel like, it really feels like a true wooden coaster, and this is definitely one of Intamin's best works too. Just making its way into top 5 is considered one of the best coasters in the world, and that's Still Vengeance at Cedar Point. Still Vengeance is known for being one of the best coasters in the world, if not the best coaster in the world, and I could definitely see why. Still Vengeance is arguably the craziest and greatest ride out there, with some great airtime and some great pacing, and the laps around the structure is just absolutely incredible. You give me some great whip and great inversions throughout the whole entire ride, and I would say arguably one of the best first halves on any coaster as well. Still Vengeance has one crazy great first half, but what drops it down for me from being top 3 or top more than top 5 is the second half. I feel like it just doesn't do much for me, and it's just airtime based for a record, but it's still one of the best coasters in the world, and still arguably I can see why it's still people's top 1 and arguably the best coaster in the world. But for me, it's at number 5, and it's definitely one of the best coasters, and obviously one of the best coasters at Cedar Point. I know this is going to be an interesting one. At number 4, we have Pantheon. I know y'all are going to be like, this over Still Vengeance? Yes, I really like Pantheon over Still Vengeance. And just the launch into the Zero G Winder off the start, right out of the station, is just perfect for me. Hang time out the station is just amazing. And then swing your way into the swing launch, arguably one of the greatest moments on a coaster. Just giving some abrupt moments that I just couldn't, just get over. It's so obsessing, and it's just so great that you just had to put it up there. This is great, just amazingly one of the greatest moments on a coaster. The little hill in between the swing launch, just giving some abrupt and aggressive ejector, both just going both ways, forwards and backwards, and then the top hat, and then you got the amazing Zero G stall. This thing is just pure perfect, and it's just an amazing coaster overall. It has some great speed, it has some great pacing. The launches are fun. It's just fun overall. And I feel like everybody can enjoy Pantheon. And that's what I really like about Pantheon. It's intense, but not too intense where I really can enjoy Pantheon. And it's just one of the greatest coasters out there. And I really think it's arguably can be one of the greatest coasters out there. Here's where things start to get intense. With all of Cedar Point's coasters being new to me this year, the one that stood out to me the most at number 3 is Maverick. Maverick just absolutely blew my expectations. This thing is definitely one of the top Intamins out there, and there's no debate. I just can't debate on this not being one of the best Intamins. This thing does so many things right, and what it differs from other coasters at Cedar Point, it fits so many great things in one coaster, and that's forces, speed, pacing, airtime, and just pure amazingness. This thing just fits that into one coaster. The whip, on all of the elements are just pure perfect with the speed that you're going at, and then the speed lift hill into that drop. Arguably the craziest thing, getting that great whip down the drop, especially in the back row. You really feel that drop in the back row with the great whip. And then this thing is just pure wicked from start to finish. You never slow down. You're pure going crazy. And then the forces on the high turns and the sharp turns is just pure, just amazing. And I could say a lot about Maverick, but I'm going to just keep it short. And I just got to say, this is definitely one of the best coasters at Cedar Point. And for me, it's no question. And it's no doubt one of the Intamin's best work. And I just can't wait to get more rides on Maverick. So after getting my #1 spot in 2022 and losing it in 2023, that's going to be Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Iron Gwazi is arguably the best RMC out there and top 2 RMC for me. This thing is absolutely ridiculous, and it's one of the best coasters out there in the world. And this thing just takes you on a crazy journey right off the bat with the drop. Give me some great momentum and then just great speed throughout the whole layout. Going from the death roll into the famous wave turn, really throwing you out of your seat and really throwing you to the side. This thing is absolutely amazing. And what I love about Iron Gwazi, it shows you that length doesn't matter. Iron Gwazi is most people's favorite coaster with having a short layout and a short length. But it shows that pacing, speed, and momentum really matters in a coaster, and that's what I really love about Iron Gwazi. The Kings of Kings of Park Vintage Top 25, we have Wildcats Revenge at Hershey Park. Wildcats Revenge is absolutely just insane. I just rave so much about how good this coaster is, and just comparing this and Iron Gwazi is so hard because they're so good and they do well in all categories of a coaster. This thing does absolutely well. It's fun, intense, whippy, pacing as well, momentum, length, whatever you ask for, this coaster got it. Airtime. And what makes Wildcats Revenge more better than Iron Gwazi for me is intensity. This thing has one of the craziest abrupt airtime moments out there, and you get airtime in moments you don't even think about, and it's just honestly just great. And Joe Draves did so good with this coaster. It's just absolutely amazing, absolutely wild how good this coaster is. But yeah, that's going to do it for my top 25 for 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know in the comments down below, what's your top 25 or what's your top 5 coasters of all time, like now in 2023? I want to know. And yeah, again, thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more videos from Park Vintage, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.